एस्पिरेंट्स आप सबके स्वागत है एनालिस्ट आईएएस के इस यूट्यूब चैनल पे। ब्रिज सीरीज इसलिए स्टार्ट किया ताकि 2015 से 22 तक आपको ट्रेंड पता चल जाए सब्जेक्ट वाइज की यूपीएससी किस टाइप से क्वेश्चन पूछता है। आज का डिस्कशन है एनवायरमेंट एंड इकोलॉजी क्वेश्चंस एमसीक्यू व्हिच केम इन प्रीलिम्स ऑफ 2021. सो टोटल नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चंस व्हिच केम वाज 17 क्वेश्चंस. सो वील स्टार्ट. Question 1. Consider the following statements. The United Nations Capital Development Fund UNCDF and the Arbor Day Foundation have recently recognized Hyderabad as the 2023 City of the World. Hyderabad was selected for recognition for a year following its commitment to grow and maintain the urban forest. Which of the following statements in respect to the above statements is are correct? Pause the video, try to answer. Now let's see the answer. So your correct answer to this is D, as Hyderabad was organized as the tree city of the world by Food and Agriculture Organization of the UN and the Arbor Day Foundation as the one. And statement second is correct. So your correct answer is D, which is one is not correct but second is correct. Question second, in the context of India's preparation of climate smart agriculture, consider the following statements. The climate smart village approach in India is a part of the project led by the Climate Change, Agriculture and the Food Security and International Research Program. The project of CCAFS is carried out under Consultative Group on International Agriculture Research headquartered in France. The International Crop Research Institute for the Semi-Arid Tropics in India is one of the CGIAR's research centers. Which of the statements given above are correct? Pause the video, try to answer. Now let's see the answer. So the correct answer to this is 1, 2 and 3. All statements are correct, which is D. Now let's see the explanation is the Climate Smart Agriculture Village project in India is a program of CGIAR research program on the climate change, agriculture and food security. The CCAFS started piloting the Climate Smart Village in 2012 in Africa and South Asia. Statement 2 is correct because climate change, agriculture and food security is carried out under CGIAR. Headquartered of the CGIAR is in France, and CGIAR is a global partnership that unites international organizations engaged in the research about the food security. International Crops Research Institute for the Semi-Arid Tropics is a CGIAR research center. So your all statements are correct. Answer is D. Third is consider the following kind of organisms: copepods, cyanobacteria, diatoms, foraminifera. Which of the above are primary producers in the food chains of the oceans? Pause the video, try to answer. So now if you have read NCERT of 10th class or 12th class even, you must have distinctly the diatoms oceans में पाए जाते हैं, ये भी primary producers हैं, and cyanobacteria which is also known as Bruggenelge, these both are primary producer in the ocean. So the correct answer to this is B. See direct NCERT से है. Question 4. Consider the following statements. Hedgehog, marmot, pangolin to reduce the chance of being captured by the predators. Which of the above organisms rolls up and protect its vulnerable parts? Pause the video, try to answer. Now let's see the answer. So your correct answer to this is 1 and 3. Hedgehog के ऊपर छोटे छोटे टाइनी कांटे टाइप होते हैं एंड ये रोल कर लेता है. पेंगोलिन के ऊपर हार्ड स्केल्स होते हैं. पेंगोलिन आप सर्च करके देख सकते हैं. So your correct answer is 1 and 3 both. And marmot basically they live in burrows, and if they live in burrows they hide themselves in the holes when their predator is nearby. So second is incorrect and other are correct. Question 5. With reference to the New York Declaration of Forest, which of the above statement are correct? Following statements are correct. It was first endorsed at the United Nations Climate Summit in 2014. It endorses a global timeline to end the loss of forests. It is a legally binding international declaration. It is endorsed by governments, big companies and indigenous communities. India was one of the signatories at its inception. Select the correct answer using the code given below. Pause the video, try to answer. Now let's see the answer. So the correct answer to this is A, which is 1, 2 and 4. The New York Declaration of the Forest was endorsed in 2014. Climate Summit 1 is correct. The declaration includes ambiguous targets to end the natural forest by 2030 with a 50% reduction by 2020. Second statement is also correct. And there is only one option जिसमें first and second दोनों एक साथ है. So you could have easily answered. Question 6. Magnetite particles suspected to cause neurodegenerative problems are generated as environmental pollutants from which of the following? Brakes of motor vehicles, engine of motor vehicles, microwave stoves within ovens, power plants, telephone lines. Select the correct answer using the code given below. Pause the video, try to think about it. Now let's see the answer. So your correct answer to this is B, which is 1, 2 and 4. They are formed and emitted from vehicle brake wear. They are formed in cylinder melting of engine fragments. Second is also correct. They are also found on leaf surfaces near power generating plants. So 1, 2, 4 are correct. Moreover, microwave stoves within homes ये नहीं होता है. So इसमें मैग्नेटाइट नहीं होते, नहीं तो ये घर में यूज नहीं किया जाता. ये थोड़ा कॉमन आप इसमें सेंस लगा सकते थे, बट स्टिल योर करेक्ट आंसर इज 1, 2 and 4. Question 7 is which one of the following is a filter feeder? Pause the video, try to answer. Catfish, octopus, oyster or pelican? Now let's see the answer. So your correct answer to this is C, which is oyster. Filter feeding in zoology, a form of food procurement in which food particles or small organisms are rentably strained from water. इनको filter करके एक organism consume करता है. Oysters, like other shellfish, have unique filter feeding ability. In that sense, it takes in water through gills, which then filters it out for nutrients like suspended fragments, plankton and all. So while automatically draining out rest of the water. So this is known as filter feeding, oyster. Question 8. In the case of which of the following biochemical cycles, the weathering of rocks is the main source of release of nutrients to enter the cycle? Carbon cycle, nitrogen cycle, phosphorus cycle or sulfur cycle? Pause the video, try to answer. Now let's see the answer. So the natural reservoir of phosphorus जो है वो rock होता है, which contains phosphorus in the form of phosphates. When the rock are weathered, minute amounts of phosphates are dissolved in the soil solution and absorbed by root plants. So phosphorus अपनी rock में ही cycle पूरी करता है. Option is C. 9. Which of the following are detrivorous? Earthworm, jellyfish, millipedes, seahorse, woodlice. Select the correct answer in the code given below. Pause the video, try to answer. Now let's see the answer. So your correct answer to this is C is correct. It's 2, 3, 4 and 5 only. This one is 5, this is not 4. Your correct answer is C, sorry. It is 1, 3 and 5. Woodlice, millipedes and earthworms. Jellyfishes is a carnivorous and seahorse is also a primary carnivorous organism. So you can remove these two and rest of the was your answer, C. Question 10. The common carbon metric supported by UNEP has been developed for assessing the carbon footprint of building operations around the world, enabling commercial farming entities around the world to enter carbon emission trading, enabling governments to access the overall carbon footprint caused by their countries, accessing the overall carbon footprint caused by the use of fossil fuels by the world in 1 unit time. Pause the video, try to answer. Now let's see the answer. So your correct answer to this is A, which is accessing the carbon footprint building operations around the world. It is a calculation used to define measurement, reporting and verification of greenhouse gas emissions associated with operation of building types of particular climate regions. 11. Which of the following have species that can establish a symbolic relationship with other organisms? Cnidaria, fungus, protozoa. Select the correct answer using the code given below. Pause the video, try to answer. Now let's see the answer. So your correct answer to this is all are correct. As lichens symbiotic relationship में रहते हैं, ये algae और fungus का एक symbiotic relationship होता है. Natural indicator भी होते हैं environment के. केवल clean जगह या hilly areas में आपको lichens मिलते हैं. So first is correct. Cnidaria, some of these species they live in colonies. Corals, while others have solitary life like hydra. So coral exhibits symbiosis with algae. Zooxanthellae algae होता है. First is right. टर्माइट्स का भी सिम्बायोटिक रिलेशनशिप होता है प्रोटोजोआ के साथ. प्रोटोजोआ बेसिकली टर्माइट के गट्स में पाया जाता है. सो ये करेक्ट आंसर टू दिस इज डी. क्वेश्चन 12. द R2 कोड ऑफ प्रैक्टिसेस कंस्टिट्यूट अ टूल अवेलेबल फॉर प्रमोटिंग द एडॉप्शन ऑफ एनवायरमेंटली रिस्पॉन्सिबल प्रैक्टिसेस इन द इलेक्ट्रॉनिक रिसाइकलिंग इंडस्ट्री. ecological management of wetlands of international importance under the Ramsar Convention, sustainable practices in the cultivation of agricultural crops in degraded lands, environmental impact assessment in the exploitation of natural resources. Pause the video, try to answer. Now let's see the answer. So a correct answer to this is A, because the R2 code or the responsible recycling standard provides a common set of processes for businesses that repair and recycle used electronics. Recycling industry, electronic recycling industry. 13. Why is there a concern about the commerce melting plants? They may release lethal quantities of carbon monoxide into the environment. The copper slag can cause the leaching of some heavy metals in the environment. They may release sulfur dioxide as a pollutant. Select the correct answer using the code given below. Pause the video, try to answer. So ये एक factual question था. अगर आप copper smelting plants के बारे में जानते होंगे. Moreover, your correct answer to this is D. All are correct. Carbon monoxide भी produce होती है. Copper slag में कुछ heavy metals जैसे arsenic, iron इन सब के भी होते हैं, तो ये environment में leach हो जाते हैं. Moreover, sulfur dioxide भी as a pollutant release होती है. Question 14. With reference to the furnace oil, consider the following statements. It is a product of oil refineries. Some industries use it to generate power. It causes sulfur emissions in the environment. Which of the statements given above are correct? Positive, try to answer. Now let's see the answer. So your correct answer to this is D. All are correct. Fuel oil, इसको furnace oil भी कहते हैं. It consists of mainly residues from the crude oil distillation. It is primarily used for steam boilers in power plants. First and two are correct. Furnace oil also has high level of sulfur, up to 4.5%. So 3 is also correct. So your correct including all is D. What is blue carbon? Carbon captured by ocean and coastal ecosystem. Carbon sequestration in forest biomass and agriculture soils. Carbon contained in petroleum natural gas. Carbon present in the atmosphere. Pause the video, try to answer. Now let's see the answer. So यहाँ अगर आप common लगाते तो blue जो होता है वो water को refer करेगा, and your correct answer to this is A. Blue carbon is the carbon stored in the coastal and marine ecosystems. First was correct, and it is mainly concerned with coastal and marine ecosystems. So your correct answer is A. 16. In nature, which of the following are most likely to be found surviving on a surface without soil? Fern, lichen, moss, mushroom. Select the correct answer in the code given below. Pause the video, try to answer. Now let's see the answer. So your correct answer to this is, since mosses form dense mats, they reduce the impact of falling rain and prevent soil erosion. So third statement is wrong. You can remove the third by eliminating this you get okay. Now lichens they grow mainly on undisturbed soil surface, bark, wood and all, so they do not need roots. So that is how second is correct. Land without soil can support only very small primitive plants such as lichen and mosses that can cling in a like surface. Therefore 2 and 3 you can just, your correct answer is C, lichen and mosses. 17. Which one of the following is used in preparing a natural mosquito repellent? Congress grass, elephant grass, lemongrass, nut grass. Pause the video, try to answer. So correct answer to this is lemongrass. Logic है, mosquito repellent है तो grass needs to have an aromatic smell. So elephant grass could not be the answer. So lemongrass is the answer. It is commonly found in India, and we can use lemongrass oil or can crush leaves and by applying the oil mixture directly into the skin. So correct answer is C, which is the lemongrass. This was all about this video. Thank you. Have a nice day and stay.